76ers and the Miami Heat, the 3-6 matchup here. Sixers kind of rallied down the stretch. They were able to catch the Cavs and surpass them to get the 3 seed.
Tom, this is the best matchup in the entire NBA playoffs because you may not think so because you might look at the Miami Heat and say they're boring, but it all revolves around the 76ers because this team has exploded at the end of the season. They're on an absolute crazy win streak going into the playoffs. Markelle Fultz just had a triple-double last night, the youngest player to ever have a triple-double in NBA history. Joel Embiid, obviously, he's injured, but he will be back at some point in the playoffs. And then Ben Simmons literally looks like Magic Johnson. It's unbelievable the amount of strides that he's taken this year. I can't wait to see these guys going full throttle in the playoffs. We've been waiting for everyone to be healthy and for all of them to be on the court, playing the minutes they need to all year, and they finally have been doing it the past couple weeks. Obviously, without Embiid, it's going to be tough for the first game, maybe 2 without him, but this is a really, really good Sixers team, and boy, oh boy, am I excited to see what Markelle Fultz finally brings to the table.
It's fun.
He's alive, Tom.
Yes,
he
he
lives.
is okay.
They electrocuted him, and he came back to life. Look, Markelle Fultz was drafted #1 overall for a reason. He's a great, great NBA player, or at least I think he's going to end up being one. He obviously
he's shown some promise.
He does show promise. He's a very good scorer. He's very smart. He has great court vision, and he's actually a better rebounder than I think people give him credit for. My biggest issue with him is that I think he's going to be a terrible defender. I think his comp for me coming out was always Damian Lillard, and I'm gonna hold to that. I think he's Damian Lillard. But he has a really interesting matchup with Tyler Johnson, who for the Miami Heat has been a pretty integral part of their overall offense. Fultz is going to be the 6th or 7th man off the bench, along with the likes of Robert Covington and how they usually go with their offensive rotation. So we'll see what happens with Markelle Fultz, but I'm excited to see him out there in the playoffs.
Let's talk a little bit about then the Miami Heat. They, of course, are playing the Sixers now. They have some nice players. Rodgers plays well. Whiteside has played well. But are they good enough to get past Heat when there is, more so than the Western Conference, that clear type of separation?
There are very few coaches in the entire NBA, Tom, that I think can add 10 wins to your team. And Erik Spoelstra is one of those coaches. If you have Erik Spoelstra on your team, just add 10 wins to what you think your roster is normally going to get, and that's what's going to end up happening. They have Whiteside, who they've been treating really weirdly throughout the entire season, but now that the playoffs are coming around, he's going to play 35 minutes a night. If they don't actually play him 35 minutes a night, I don't really know what they're doing, but the only thing that matters for the Miami Heat in this series is what do they do against Ben Simmons, because they might be the worst team in the Eastern Conference with their roster at stopping Ben Simmons. But they also have a lot to do with Hassan Whiteside because they have to stop Joel Embiid down low. He's been one of the better big men in the entire NBA. We got to see what Hassan Whiteside can do when fully unleashed. We've seen him in the regular season and his ability to block shots down low. We've seen him with his ability to rebound, but this season has been such a weird outlier from the rest of his career. They just do not use him when they need to. It's very strange. It's one thing I've questioned Erik Spoelstra about all season long. I have no clue what's wrong.
I am excited about this because we know that Joel Embiid and Hassan Whiteside aren't the best of friends.
No, they hate each other. It's great.
They don't get along. There could be some blow-ups mid-game.
There will be. You have to remember with the Sixers team, they're a fiery bunch of young boys. They really like getting into it teams. You had Ben Simmons staring down LeBron James after dunks. Like, this is not a team that is just going to roll over and take it from the rest of the Eastern Conference. This is going to be a great, great matchup between the Sixers and the Heat. I personally have the Sixers winning this one. I don't think it's going to end up being that close. I have the Sixers taking it in 6. I think the Heat are going to give them a run for their money.